Yes, guys. Welcome back to the one and only TTA stream. You guys know what time it is. Yes, it is time to look for the money making setups, guys. Thank you so much for being back here on stream. Appreciate everybody taking the time to be here today. Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear me loud and clear, and then I'm going to give everybody just a few minutes to tune in before we dive right in. So let me know if the audio is doing good, guys, if you can hear me properly. Yeah, I'm just going to take some time just to give everybody a moment to tune in, and we're going to kick it off afterwards. He's watching us and waiting for 100 viewers to start. That's definitely not the case, Mastermind. I just always need to set up the microphone and everything. But yeah, guys, make sure to leave a like here on the stream before we dive in. Always highly appreciate it if you can just leave a little like. Yeah, just show some love on the stream, you know. Give the stream some love. And then we're going to dive in. GU selling off nicely, guys. Ooh. AUDUSD should be selling off as well. Yes, still very rangy. Let's see, man. Some New York Open volume coming into the markets. EURUSD starting to push down lower as well. Let's see, guys. GBPUSD top pick of this week. Really trying to see if we can get another drive down lower. It's going to be dependent on how New York Open opens. Let's see if this is not just a drive down lower and then the next push in towards the highs. But I definitely like those GU shorts, and congratulations if you are in, guys, because those shorts have been paying, man. Those shorts have been paying. So I see we have around 210 viewers, just giving everybody one more minute to tune in. In the meantime, guys, let me know in the chat what setups you guys are personally in, and then we're going to dive in to the market. Yeah, GU, let's get that money, Raptor. Let's get that money, man. GU, the bloody money train, all ready for a few days, man. So clean. Glad that you guys are making money. What do you guys think of AUDUSD? Has anybody of you been trading AUDUSD at all? We're doing chart reviews today because I got a juicy one. Yup, especially for you, brother, we are doing a chart review today. I'm not even sharing my chart, guys. We're here on the charts. You know what time it is. We have here for you GBPUSD open. Let's see what happens and what plays out, guys. Welcome back to another stream here on the channel. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it as always. If you can just leave a like, just a sign of respect and yeah, appreciation. As again, we're going to be here for the next 30 to 45 minutes, just spitting pure value, giving you guys some insights on the trade setups I've been looking at myself, what trades I'm currently in myself, and yeah, what the potential opportunities are for the rest of the week. And then at the end of the stream, I'm going to be hand selecting 3 of the best trade breakdowns that you guys can send to me within the Discord server. So if you're not inside Discord yet, head over to the description of this video, or this live session, whatever you want to call it. There is a link there through which you can join the Discord, and then inside the general chat, share your top trade breakdown, because that one or the top 3 will be featured here on the stream, and the best, guys, the best breakdown will win a funded account, or a funded challenge for a funded account of 25,000, yes, 1,000 US, not rupees, not lira, not Indonesian, whatever the currency is there, but yeah, US dollars, guys. So that is good. So now, without further ado, let's dive into the markets and see what's going on. So first of all, obviously I've been preaching, yeah, you guys know how it goes. I've been preaching those GU and those AU shorts. It is amazing to see the beautiful price action that we've been seeing so far for the past, let's say, 3-4 days. A lot of opportunities to make a shit ton of money, guys, on your funded account. So congratulations if you have been milking the markets on AU and GU, because we've been talking about it quite some time already, since last week Friday, definitely, I think even since last Thursday, about the money making opportunities for this. Like last week, it was a little bit too early to get into those setups. I took a loss myself on GU, but guys, we've made it back tenfold on this week's price action with GU and AU really performing to absolute perfection. So starting off with GBPUSD, guys, I think it's relatively clear, this overall setup, but I'm going to break it down for you guys once and once only, and anybody who comes into this live stream at a later stage, he's going to have to scroll back. In the meantime, Fuzzle, is it possible to participate after winning already? Sadly not. You can only win the challenge once for this time period, or for this current period of time. Maybe in the future I'm going to give more people who have already won another opportunity to win, but for now only new winners are going to be announced for the funded account giveaway. So all the winners of the past challenges have received their codes. If you have not received it, you can check the testimonials. The winners are actually receiving these accounts, but if you have not received it yet, make sure to open a ticket now, because I'm going to be checking the tickets inside Discord right after this stream. Okay, so what we're now going to do is we're going to dive into GBPUSD and AUDUSD, my top 2 picks of the past few days / week, and then after that I'm going to go into some other pairs that you guys have for me, and also what I potentially see as additional opportunities for the rest of the week. And then at the end of the stream, for the final 10 minutes or so, we're going to be doing trade reviews, and the top 3 trade reviews, those have the opportunity of winning that $25,000 US funded challenge. Okay guys, is the microphone too high? Let me put it. Okay, now it's a little bit lower. The pitch should be a little bit lower, guys, so I hope the audio is a little bit better like this. Now, looking at GBPUSD, first of all, GUs obviously has been, let's say, bearish, right? After giving us this beautiful ascending correction in towards the upside, we can clearly see that price decides to sell off. Now, there's always a very clear way to understand that the market is ready to sell off in towards the downside, and that is looking for 2 things and 2 things only. First of all, we have to understand how price is moving, right? So when we look at how the market is moving, you always want to be looking for a correction which signals that the market wants to reverse in towards the downside, because the overall market was extremely bullish in towards the highs, right? We were kind of like in a rocket phase where the market was just creating higher highs and higher lows. Now, at some point in time, you want to look to identify the potential reversal in towards the downside, because in this phase, the only thing you're doing is you're buying the market, right? Here, you don't want to be selling. You only want to be buying because the overall market is bullish. However, at this point in time where we're, let's say, over here, what happened is that the market came in towards, number 1, a swing high, right? So from that swing high perspective, we understand that the market is potentially ready to make a pullback, because when is the market ready to make a pullback? The market is ready to make a pullback after a break of structure has taken place, like the break of structure here. So after a BOS. And number 2, when we hit liquidity, or when we hit supply and demand. And number 3 is pretty much when we look at price in itself. So we look at certain price patterns, yeah? So what we want to see overall here from the market is, okay, that ascending correction in towards the highs. Then we get the ascending correction in towards the highs. So we wait for that overall ascending correction in towards the highs, and then once that overall ascending correction is provided in towards the highs, what we then want to see is the overall reversal pattern take place in itself, right? So first of all, we grab the overall liquidity high. Then second of all, we have the overall ascending correction in towards the highs with the 1, 2, 3. And then third of all, we look for the change of character. Change of character takes place over here where we get the push up, we get the push down, we get the push up, and then boom, the overall correction in towards the downside starts. Now, the initial short position that you can then take obviously happened here at the beginning of July, where you want to enter on the 4-hour fractal structure, and you just target that first 1 to 2 risk to reward. Now, once the break of structure in towards the downside took place over here, that then means that this here is the swing high, this here is the swing low, okay? So once that break of structure takes place, we then look, okay, this here is the swing high in towards the swing low. We draw in the premium versus discount tool. And then everything pretty much above the 0.5 fib, that is potentially a good selling opportunity. Now, what has happened with the current price action in this last week, so around since last Thursday, is that we've come in towards this overall swing high, because when we have bearish market structure from the overall high in towards the overall low, what you then are going to be looking for is the overall liquidity to then being grabbed. Okay, so liquidity over here gets grabbed. We make a retracement above the 0.5 fib. We're bearish from market structure perspective. And down over here, we have equal lows in the form of liquidity. And we have obviously this internal liquidity higher as well. So then once the liquidity gets grabbed, we understand the market is bearish. We've retraced above the 0.5 fib. We wait and go to the 4-hour time frame. On the 4-hour time frame, what do we have? on the 4-hour time frame, what do we have, guys? We have, first of all, here liquidity grabbed. Second of all, we get the bearish confirmation in the form of that 4-hour fractal break in towards the downside. Now, for let's say the past month, we've only seen 2 bearish fractal breaks, right? So the first one took place over here. Personally, I took a loss on this one over here with a stop loss here. Went in around 0.8% profit. So that's the first loss of the month then taken. And then the second trade that you can take is obviously from the higher 4-hour fractal break. Again, stop loss above the highs. And then you can see at its peak, this one was around 2.3% in profit. Personally, you can take off around at the 2% level an initial position. And then if you want, you can obviously look at the lower time frame for skill-ins. But personally, I hold most of these positions for around the 1 to 2 risk to reward. Trading on the 4-hour time frame, but you can also go for around the 2.5 risk to reward. Now, at the moment, this here is our supply zone. This here is our supply zone. So this is currently the supply zone that is suppressing price here on GBPUSD, and the market should head down lower within this overall supply zone as the order flow here for GBPUSD remains bearish, right? So now what has happened is that we've taken out this liquidity high over here, and we've seen a 1-hour change of character. So personally, I'm looking for somewhat of a continuation further in towards the downside for GBPUSD. Let's see how this 1-hour candle closes. I would wait at least for the 1-hour candle close to see if this is a strong close. But then this is a nice supply zone to look for potential continuation. If we do retrace up higher, for example, again here, then just remember we have some descending highs, and then again you could look for a short if more liquidation takes place. But currently you're looking to capitalize on the potential momentum in towards the downside. So that's for GBPUSD. Potential shorts from this area of supply. AUDUSD is as well very beautiful. To be honest, AU at the moment is a lot more consolidative, so a lot harder to get involved with. Obviously, the overall setup on AUDUSD has already played out in the form of what we have here. Right, so we have the daily fractal bearish, so fractal high, fractal low. This is the exact same setup as on GBPUSD, where we have gotten, and it becomes more clear on the lower time frame being the 4-hour. So we go here to the left, where we've gotten this liquidity high over here. So this is your liquidity high, right? So this is like the first, after this V-shape reversal down, this is the first little bump in the road. So we get a bump in the road, then here a lot more bumps in the road, right? So eventually what you want to just be looking for liquidity to get taken is all of these liquidity highs get taken out. So at this point in time, when this blue dotted line here gets taken out, that is the moment that all the liquidity gets grabbed. So you can see a lot of liquidity was building up underneath that high, right? With all of these equal highs trying to take out the blue dotted line, but failing to do so until this happened. And then once it happens, boom, V-shape reversal, price smashes in towards the downside, providing us with the bearish breaker structure. Then that means swing high, swing low, draw in your overall Fibonacci retracement tool, wait for price to retrace at least into the 0.5 fib to look for high probability shorts. Here we have an area of supply. Here we have liquidity high, liquidity high. So liquidity high 1, liquidity high 2 gets taken out. 4-hour change of character inside of the overall supply zone. And then that is where you want to sell. And then boom, easy profits to be made on that overall setup. And obviously I'm saying that it's easy, but it is easy because I've been mentioning it every single bloody day in the market outlook last week. That either you sell on this or you sell on this. Now here again, similar to GBPUSD, it's fine if you take a loss on this first setup. Personally, I did not take this one, but here you could have taken this setup over here to form then a new lower low. However, you see the risk to reward is a little bit off if you take that overall low break, because it's not a 1 to 2 risk to reward to that overall swing low. With this setup, obviously all the way back down to this low, it's even more than a 1 to 3. So overall, holding this position still AUDUSD, and you can still hold it at least to a 1 to 2 or even to a 1 to 3, as this is an overall NFP low and it's weak, so price should continue its overall leg downwards on AUDUSD. So some nice price action overall, but obviously now at the moment this is kind of like now the strong high, so you could manage your position and place your stop loss at break even. But again, overall extremely clean price action. And yesterday it was even cleaner after price retraced into this area of supply over here, the imbalance candles. Then what happens, the initial high, because here there's no real liquidity to push down, the initial high here, that acts as liquidity, liquidity gets taken, and then here we have the change of character high, change of character low, and then again you just enter there on the 1 hour time frame, stop loss above the high, or above the supply zone itself, let's say you place it above the supply zone itself, you would be at your peak close to 2%. If you would have used a tighter stop loss for around 12 pip stop loss, then obviously you would already hit a 1 to 3 risk reward again. So again, on the 1 hour time frame, beautiful setup. So you have the 4 hour confirmation on the higher time frame for the higher probability setup that you take up over here at the top, and then you can scale in on the 1 hour at those later stages, exactly how I like just explained. Yeah, so I see a lot of you are commenting about USDCAD. USDCAD obviously flying. Yeah, I mean, I've talked about this one as well quite a lot on stream, I think already since last week, where you guys understand, just like myself, that first of all, from a weekly perspective, the market retraced into this overall sell before the buy, and overall that we are bullish. Yeah, what else can I explain about this? This is just a really nice setup, right? So here we have the breaker structure in towards the highs. This is a strong area of demand because of the fact that it liquidated a low. So what happened here is you had a low, people then expect the market to head up higher from, let's say, this demand zone, fails to do so, aggressive sell-off in towards that low, and then boom, an even more aggressive buy in towards the highs. So that makes this a very strong area of demand. Price comes back in towards that demand zone, and then here, first fractal break, second fractal break. So overall market bullish between this low and this high, 0.5 fib retracement. I mean, yeah, very, very sexy. 0.5 fib gets hit. The internal change of character takes place in towards the highs. Sell before the buy up. That's a demand zone to go long from. And yeah, overall, extremely clean price action. So congratulations if you have been trading that, because that is extremely beautiful USDCAD. So from a daily time frame perspective, makes a lot of sense to look for those longs. And now you just want to look to trade the overall continuation in towards a new higher high from that daily demand zone. Here on the 4 hour time frame or on the 1 hour time frame, you can then obviously look for the continuation plays. Again, this here strong area of demand as that has liquidated the previous low. So always when you see a demand zone be created, because look, if this demand zone here just reacted to price action here, right, and then pushed up higher, and then you would view that as demand, if you guys understand what I mean, then this would have been a lot weaker. But this demand zone is very strong because it actually liquidated this here to the left, okay? And then it reversed in towards the high. So this is a so-called liquidation zone, making the overall demand zone in itself just inherently strong. So yeah, very clean price action. But is the dollar then flying that hard? Not even that much. It's just CAD that's extremely weak then. Okay, interesting. Let's see USD Swiss. Yeah, because USD Swiss is not even moving that hard. Okay, interesting. EURUSD still very slow. Let's see, EURUSD overall. Yeah, I mean, EURUSD is a little bit of a more complicated one. I've kind of highlighted it in the daily market outlook as well, where the price action is a little bit more unclear. Overall, we have here the breaker structure in towards the highs. So this is the overall breaker structure that takes place. This here is the swing low, this here is the swing high. Then what happens is the market retraces into the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement. So again, just premium versus discount, and then from there it reverses back in towards the highs after also taking this out as liquidity. So boom boom, V-shaped reversal, and since then the daily order flow has been holding. So sell for the buy here, sell for the buy here, and now we're kind of like stuck in here, but we're also stuck at a supply zone that broke market structure here and broke market structure here. So for myself, EURUSD is fighting in between this demand zone and this supply zone, and therefore it's a little bit unclear. In my opinion, therefore, a GBPUSD short position is, for example, a lot more clear. An AUDUSD short position is also a lot more clear. So that's why my focus is currently on those positions and not necessarily on a EURUSD. So yeah, let's see how this 1 hour closes on GU, and that could provide us with the potential for short. Guys, in the meantime, don't forget to leave a like here on the stream. That is always highly appreciated. If we can get at least 200 likes, yeah, that would just be amazing. So let's see how this 1 hour candle closes here on GU, and then if we form this area of supply, that could hint at some further downside continuation after taking out this little high here of yesterday. So yeah, that is what I have for now for GU, guys. So that's GU, AU, EU, and what is the rest, guys? Fares, Khadija, if you want to cry, just shut up and leave, man. I won't waste my time helping you guys for free. Literally nothing to prove. Such idiots, man. Sad to see that we have kind of negative people in the world, guys, who just love to hate. But let's keep it positive. So what setups are you guys looking at? What does everybody want to see? What pairs should we analyze? Let me know, guys. You guys want to have a look at gold? What other pairs? Because gold, in my personal opinion, is not the cleanest of all. I find gold in itself a little bit, let's say, consolidated if we look at the daily time frame. Obviously, being positioned at the moment within the middle of an overall range, right? We can see here that gold in itself has just been consolidating so heavily on the daily time frame. Now, you can kind of close the overall, let's say, range into more current range that we're trading within, where we're kind of like looking at this. And then again, what I'm talking about with that range, we can talk about this. So we have the 75%, we have the 25%, and you can kind of see that you should stick to the overall extreme. So this is kind of like the buying zone overall. This is pretty much the selling zone overall. Myself, looking at the moment at gold, I would like to see a potential long position start to play out in the near future. I must say, from kind of like a 4-hour perspective, though, we're squeezing in towards the downside. You can kind of see that, yeah, I mean, we break the overall low, but again, no momentum. So there's no real momentum in towards the downside. This morning, it looked good as we kind of broke internal structure here. And I was kind of looking, to be honest, at this area of demand to potentially push the market up higher. But I mean, has until now pretty much failed. Again, very consolidative candlesticks. On Friday, we have the Jackson Hole Symposium where the financial heavyweights of the US will be meeting together and deciding and talking about fiscal policy, and that is potentially going to start moving gold. But for the rest, I mean, if you trade this on the lower time frame, this is kind of like chop heaven, where a lot of traders will get shot in the leg, man. Not gonna lie. So I think this is a very dangerous zone where you kind of preferably would want to wait for gold to drop a little bit lower before looking for longs, because it would be much higher probability if we're inside of here of this demand zone. What do you guys think on gold? Let me know what your guys' perspective is on that. I would prefer for us to see another drive down lower. As for me, that just would be a higher probability looking at longs from these wicks over here and more kind of like from that 25% level of this overall immediate range. What do you guys think of that? I think around, let's say, 3,300, that would be a higher probability area to go for look for longs. Any opinions on that? IKP. Really, if you just comment once, I'll also see it, I promise. Fabio, will you ever do a house tour? No, sadly not many. There is some level of privacy that I would love to have in my life. So yeah, I mean, what's your guys' perspective on gold then from that sense? Like for me, I would like to look for longs from just a little bit lower prices. At the moment, just not very well priced to look for longs in my opinion. I think the overall downside momentum is just still a little bit too strong. Secret scenes, also really no need to spam the crude oil longs and USD JPY. So let's have a look at oil for you. Yeah, what can I say about oil? Let's have a look. So oil from a weekly perspective has come back down in towards a demand zone, which is this sell before the buy over here. This demand zone has the potential to push the market up higher again. Looking at the daily time frame, we can see that the daily is chopping slowly but surely in towards the downside. The weekly area of demand, I would refine that to this individual candlestick here, and then use this here as a liquidity low. And then at this point in time, you're kind of waiting for the overall immediate order flow to shift. So what we see here on the 4-hour is that price is descending but slow. I'm kind of looking at a potential breakout on oil. If that were to happen, then the sub for the buy would be in control, and then we would look at some higher probability longs. So until that fractal high breaks, or until we see a market structure shift, like the immediate short-term downside looks kind of like more probable for myself. So I'd be looking more at that. So yeah, that's oil. Then we have EURJPY for you guys. So euro yen, overall the yen, let me have a quick look at the yen basket for you guys. The yen basket has been inside an area of demand for some time now. This demand zone over here has grabbed some liquidity to the left when forming. So to a certain extent it is strong, so I do see some strength for those yen pairs coming in, meaning euro yen has the potential to head down lower. The thing with euro yen, guys, is that it's not my favorite pair, because I would be trading a euro AUD, a EURCAD, a EURNZD, because a lot of traders are obviously looking this to be your daily demand zone, this to be your liquidity high, and then this to be kind of like, again, your immediate demand zone to push the market down lower, as you kind of had like this internal fractal break here. Now it makes sense to look for shorts on euro yen. However, I would just really favor looking at like a EURNZD. EURNZD, for example, here is a lot cleaner in the sense that, for myself, and I explained this kind of like this morning as well to some of the mentorship students that I have, that look, this overall is your pullback, then this overall is your overall impulse in towards its high, then after that impulse the overall pullback phase starts in towards the downside, back down towards its low. Then what happened is that the market here was consolidating, but since that consolidation you've seen a very clear overall impulsive phase again start to form here, and I'm going to change that into a green zone. So this here is kind of like your impulsive phase. So this is the impulse up, then this is the correction down, and now we're kind of like in the impulse up again. And in the impulse up you only pretty much want to be looking for buys, because you're going to cut your hands sometime on, let's say, the overall sell, for example, from this fractal structure, right? Because a lot of traders would look at this area of supply here for a potential sell in towards the downside like this, and then you would place your stop loss above the high, and then at least for 1 to 2 you would kind of like target this overall demand zone here. Like, this setup can definitely play out, but it's not the highest probability setup because you're trading in the impulsive phase. So we want to be looking for the impulsive phase to head up higher, right? So within that overall impulsive phase, you focus on the overall long opportunities. Now, the long opportunities, there were multiple of them, as we have, for example, the first one being positioned right over here. So this is your daily area of demand. You're in the impulsive phase. I'm not going to analyze the rest, but look, if you just enter there with your stop loss underneath the low, this is daily time frame stuff. Look, 1 to 2, pretty easily hit, right? Then we look at this to be our area of demand. Over here, sell before the buy again, in towards the highs. Let's say you just re-enter there again, stop loss underneath the low, again here, and your peak are nearly 2% in profit, right? Nearly 2% in profit. Okay, so that's trade number 2. Let's say you're still running that. Then what happens, let's say again here, sell before the buy. Let's say again you scale into that position. Okay, let's say you take that position. That would be a loss. Then here you take another position and you would be still running in that position, and together with the other position, like let's say at your peak, you would be around 2.5% profit. So that means 2% here on these two setups together at its peak, 2.5%, and then this one setup over here is -1 loss. So that even means, let's say you were to close around this level here, that would mean that you would be, let's say, around 2%, let's say 2% profit. Together with this, only on EURNZD here, on those buys, you would be up 3%, right? So it can be as simple as that. Really. So focus on trading the impulsive phase. Mikey, I don't really understand your question, mate. Yeah, guys. So that's EURNZD. Same goes for EURCAD. Has also been in its impulsive phase, pushing up higher. Again, very, very clear. Impulsive phase, pullback phase, impulsive phase. Again, here, what you kind of see happening is that you just really want to stick to the impulsive phase. So here we have the break of structure up, right? So here we have the break of structure up. Okay, so here we have the break of structure up. Then here we have the low in towards the highs. Here we have the premium versus discount. So the market never retraces in towards the downside. Let me give it until here. So this is the point. Then again, 0.5 fib gets hit. So from there, you're looking for the overall continuation to happen in towards the upside. So then what happens is that you actually kind of see here again internally demand. Okay, so let's say we break up again. Okay, again, demand. And now again, even without ever tapping into this lower demand zone, you're just following the overall order flow up higher. So just purely by trading, let's say that daily overall order flow, stop loss underneath the lows, here at its peak again, you're close to 2% in profit, right? And this is just purely trading the daily. So this is really how simple you can just keep it. The only thing that you want to do is really follow the overall impulsive phase. Mikey, I share so many payouts, so many screenshots of my live withdrawals. I've showed even my overall Alpha Capital dashboard. I've shown my FT mode dashboard. Just do a little bit of research here on the channel instead of being a dick here in the chat trying to prove some point that you don't really have. It's really ridiculous. And I'm happy to share everything, guys, really. But if you're just trying to be a little clown here in the chat, then just really get lost, and I'll just stop even live streaming. I'll stop doing daily market outlooks. Really, if I want, I would just stop tomorrow, but I just get a massive sense of fulfillment from helping you guys. But if you guys try and make it personal against me like Mikey's doing, then you can just really get lost, and really feel free just to leave. Really. GBPUSD, let's have a look. Yeah, so GU here. Yeah, GU looks good, man. For me, for like a skew in. Like, I'm already in an initial position since here. I'm in since here, as I've already talked about. I'm also in AUDUSD, obviously, as I've talked about since here, and which I've shared also in the Discord updates, and GBPUSD. So I'm overexposed already on the dollar, so I can't kind of like skill in again. But I mean, I'd be happy to be in this, man. I would be happy to be in this. This for me is a good setup. So yeah, let's see what it does. Yeah, EURUSD is too bullish, man. EURUSD is too bullish. But yeah, it's no financial advice, this GBPUSD trade, but it is a trade that I would be happy to take personally. Like, if it drops, it should drop from here. If it pushes up higher and breaks this fractal high, then you have just too many descending highs at the moment. So if it wants to head down lower, it should use this as liquidity to head down lower with the 4-hour order flow. But again, no financial advice. Yeah, guys, so I'm gonna select the 3 best. Everyone loving GU shorts now. Yes, just sad that everybody's getting in, because that's not always a good sign, but let's see what happens. Euro GBP, yeah. Yeah, I'm not really looking at Euro GBP. I'm only focused on GU, man. Let's see what GU does. Guys, in the meantime, feel free to share your best trade breakdown in the general chat. I'm going to open the 3 top ones here on the screen, and then we're going to see yeah, who wins the vote from the community and wins that $25,000 funded account challenge, guys. Let's see. So feel free to share. Yeah, feel free to share, guys. I'm going to put an alert once GU breaks this low, just to share with you guys a notification. But yeah, GU looking good so far, man. Wait, let me see. I turned off I installed a new bot inside Discord, which kind of like removes external links, but I see now that it's removes as well the it removes as well the, what's it called, the TradingView link. So when you share the TradingView link, just make sure there's a space in between tradingview.com and then space link, if you understand, or do like copy paste the image. Just do that, copy paste the image instead of the link. That would be better. Because I can see that you're trying to share a chart. Okay, guys, let's see. I see the first charts coming in. I need the 3 best ones, guys. And you have around a minute left before I choose. So make sure to get them here inside the Discord chat. I'm going to open them here, and then the 3 best ones are going to win. Thanks, Kaban. I appreciate it. Of course, Stepan. I think it's amazing everybody can share their breakdowns. Do you think GU will go to 1.32? I think that's that's very far away, man. Obviously, it would be very nice, but I'm not looking kind of like that much ahead. For myself, I'm just kind of like looking, first of all, to reach this imbalance over here, and then we'll see how the market reacts inside of there. That, for me, is now the main focus. Because this is a relatively strong demand zone in the sense that it kind of like took out this internal low before then reversing up higher. So we need to kind of like pay attention to that. But I mean, you can still kind of squeeze a 1 hour setup in there. That's why I've kind of like put this one here for you guys. But let's see what it does. Okay. I'm looking for the best ones. Let's see. Okay, guys. I have a few very good ones for you today. I think you're really going to like them. Let's see. I'm getting them up for you right now. Okay. You have some really good ones, guys. Okay, I think I have 3 of them. I have the 3 best ones, including an explanation for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get them here on the chart. So we have this one as number 1, we have this one as number 2, and we have this one. Bloody hell. And we have this one as number 3. So we have 3 of them, guys. Let's see, what is the best one? Jesse Jason, what is your Discord tag? Let me know. And then I'll see if I can add you back, man. Guys, so we have this one from Pratamesh. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing the name correctly. A USDCAD buy. I think USDCAD buy very nice here from the overall lows. Indeed, identified here a liquidity low. Identified this overall demand zone. This looks very similar to a setup that we just discussed here on the stream, where we had that low as well, and this demand zone over here. Not sure which one that was, but I like that he added the screenshot here that he actually took the setup on USDCAD. So overall, 4 hour was obviously swing bullish in towards the upside. We were inside an area of demand. We had an overall liquidity low. Then what happens is that we got the double fractal break in towards the highs, and he got into the overall setup. A very, very beautiful setup where you had indeed discount, you had the market structure in your favor, you had liquidity, and you had an area of demand, and you had the fractal entry model. So yeah, Pratesh, congratulations to you for taking that setup. I would say that is a very nice setup. Pratamesh, that's a very nice setup. Then we're gonna go to this one of Nathaniel. Guys, Nathaniel has been on here quite often, but he hasn't won yet. Nathaniel had here a GBPUSD short position. Again, he's still in this position just like myself. Very nice one. We've kind of already explained it. I mean, 4 hour swing structure bearish, took an overall liquidity high. We had the 4 hour change of character right over here after giving that liquidity grab and tapping into that old area of supply. Overall bearish, we're inside premium, and we have the fractal entry model, and the momentum is currently down. So yeah, I think a very clean setup. Ooh, baby, I love you. GBPUSD, guys, congratulations if you are in. Finally, once in my fucking life, when I share a risk to reward tool here on my screen, at least price starts moving in the right direction instead of the opposite. Congratulations if you are in. We talked about the setup congratulations if you executed based on what I said here today. I hope some of you are in it. Now let's just not see this thing reverse to the fucking moon, but we could be too early. But no, looking good. Thanks, guys. Let's get that money. Yeah. Then we have EURUSD. I'm not sure whose chart this one is. I'm just going to put EURUSD in there because there's no name here on the TradingView screenshot. But you guys can see it. What is this? Fundamentals. I looked at the overall view was for USD pairs. It has a bearish bias until the end of the year due to rate cuts and weak US job data. What would indicate that will only be 3 cuts possible. But if USD is bearish, then your USD should go up higher. So the fundamentals are not completely correct then, I guess. Because if your USD is bullish, then we should go. Yeah, if your USD is bullish, or is the if the fundamentals for USD is bearish, then your USD should go up higher. But overall, a nice setup here, trading the overall fractals down on the 1 hour, including the overall screenshot. So Macro Avalanche had a call on Sunday where he was overall bearish for the dollar, but said that Powell could have more hawkish speak this Friday. This to me indicated that there was some room for upside on the dollar. Okay, that makes sense. Since a hawkish tone would push the dollar up in the short term, the market can price in a better for when the cuts come, because no one wants to pay a high price and take less profits. I then went into the charts and marked my premium versus discount tool, which said there is a possibility for EURUSD to drop, since it was in premium pricing and the swing low got broken, so more downside would be logical for me. I marked up the zone and the liquidity on the 1 hour time frame, so you had the 1 hour area of supply here and the 1 hour bearish double change of character, first change of character, second change of character, very nice. Initial sellers got taken out on this overall high that we have over here, and then you entered with the market order with a sell on the 1 hour and put a sell stop on the 50-minute fractal low. I put my alerts at this point in time, and I wouldn't look at the charts all day. I could trail my stop loss and put it above the fractal high of that current time. Both hit TP for a total of 4 risk to reward, and I put my account out of drawdown and back in profit. Boom. Great explanation on EURUSD, including a screenshot of the profits. And then here on the right hand side, he has the confluences, and it says, let your trade stay, or put your trade in, just let it there and have trust in your setup. This is UPS, of course. So guys, we have a lot of setups, or we have 3 beautiful setups here. I'm going to post a poll here in the chat for you guys. We have setup number 1 that we discussed, GBPUSD shorts, or excuse me, USDCAD longs. USDCAD longs are from Pratamesh. Okay, guys, USDCAD longs are from Pratamesh. Then we have GBPUSD shorts from Nathaniel. Obviously a very sexy setup. Now it's retracing, idiot. We have this beautiful setup from GBPUSD from Nathaniel, and then we have the sell on EURUSD from Yoop. I think a very beautiful story written from start to finish, which everybody can learn a lot from. So I want to give you guys now the opportunity to vote for your winner of the day. Is it going to be the EURUSD short here from Yoop? Is it going to be here the GBPUSD short from Nathaniel, or is it going to be the USDCAD long from Pratamesh? Okay, so guys, hype yourself up in the chat. Who do you think has the best trade breakdown? Let me know in the chat, guys. Now is the time to type in the chat who you think has the best trade breakdown. Kind of like, yeah, guys, hype some names in the chat, man. Is it Yoop? Is it Nathaniel? Or is it Pratamesh, guys? Again, we have Yoop here with EURUSD sells. We have here Nathaniel with a GBPUSD sell. And we have overall Pratamesh with a USDCAD buy. Guys, who has the overall best trade breakdown? And I'm going to give you guys 10 more seconds. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. Guys, we need some more votes. We need some more votes. Again, one more time. EURUSD from Yoop. Then we have GBPUSD sell from Nathaniel, or we have the USDCAD buy from Pratamesh. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Guys, congratulations to Pratamesh. USDCAD buys is the setup of the week so far. Congratulations. Congratulations, Pratamesh, guys. Give a shout out to Pratamesh. Congratulate him in the chat on Discord. Yeah, I think an overall amazing trade breakdown. Sorry, Yoop and Nathaniel, you guys as well, with some yeah, very nice overall trade breakdowns. Yeah, overall super clean, guys. Thanks again for being here. Pratamesh, you can open a ticket inside Discord, and yeah, I can yeah, provide you with the discount code there for your free $25,000 challenge. GBPUSD looking good. I won't share screenshots, but yeah, let's pray to the gods that this dumps. And what did your USD do? Yeah, your USD sold off a little bit, nothing too fancy. AU sold off nice, and GU selling off. Okay, so let's keep an eye on GU then, guys. Thank you so much, Pratamesh. Congratulations again, guys. Thank you for being here on the stream as always. Appreciate all of your support. I know the love is always going to be much bigger than the hate, but obviously it affects me as I put a lot of time into these live streams 2 times a week, around 45 minutes here, putting my heart and soul into this again. Yeah, also into Discord, of course, putting a lot of time, energy into it. On Thursday, big announcement inside Discord. There's going to be some interesting things coming from my side, so make sure to be inside Discord on Thursday, because that is when I'm going to do a big announcement. Guys, I want to thank you for yeah, joining the live stream as always. Let's hope GBPUSD sells play out, because then I know a lot of you are going to be making money. Share your screenshots inside Discord, share your testimonials inside Discord, and yeah, appreciate you guys also just being here and supporting as always. So yeah, just keep it real, keep it all positive. Again, a lot of love for all of you, man. I appreciate it all. Yeah, take care.